Hey guys, so this is going to be, I think, the last video of this API. So we're going to handle the update, and let's see. Okay, so we already get all the posts. Oh, I forgot something. I forgot that we need to change this in order to respond with the pagination. Okay, so we will do that at the end of this video, I think, just to have that. So let's continue with this, and let's say upload. Remember that upload is our handler from Multer, so we need to say request and response, essentially the same that we did on the create, and a new async that is going to get the error. So if there's an error, then we're going to say response that status 500 internal server error, and inside our JSON we're going to return that data and the error for the client to know what is going on. And else, so this error is going to come from Multer. Okay, so now because we are going to either handle a file or not, so we will allow the user to change the file if they provide it, of course. So we need to make a check here. Remember that requested file is the thing that Multer allows us to have, so we can see the file instance. And if the request file is undefined, so I had this file preferences settings, because I forgot to go to my editor font. Okay, why they okay, so why okay, because this one has a ligatures, but this should be it. Enable. Well, I will need to take a look at that because they updated this, and they had a checkbox here. Well, you know that Microsoft loves to abstract things, so we can actually can't find them. So okay, because I wanted to change the ligatures for this, but well, that was just for the looks. So let's go back to this. If the requested file is undefined, it means that we don't have a file. Okay, so we're going to say let, and we're going to use our handle. So let's say update, and update error equals to await handle, and we need to pass here a promise. So the promise we're going to pass here is the find and update, find by ID and update. We need to specify something, okay, that in this case is going to be the ID, params.id, something that Mongo can look for this collection, or I mean for this document. And inside this we add this, sorry, it's not like this, it's like this. So an object with this $sign set, and inside that we are going to add another object that is going to have the title. So if this not it, we're just going to update a few things. So title request that body, that will come from the body. Okay, this is not, this is a comma. Content, that is the request that body content, not console. Cover, the request that body, that old cover. So the thing is that we're going to send inside this a cover inside the request, and a cover and the cover name. So we are sending everything from the document, okay? But since in this case the post file is going to be undefined, we're just going to pass the same information that is coming into this cover and cover name. So remember, cover is going to be the URL and cover name is going to be the actual name of the file, so we can address that and delete it using onLink. Okay, all cover or see all cover name. Okay, so that is how it's going to come back. Now we make a check if update error, then response to the status, again the same thing, 500 internal server error, JSON and data, and we pass the update error in case an error happened, and the else is going to be the response that status. We are going to respond with yeah, status 200, everything went okay, and JSON, and now this data and the update. Okay, so the update is the actual information. Okay, that is, in this case, since we don't have a file, it's the same information that came back, only that we're going to set it back again into our document. So we have this if else. So let me check. Okay, sorry, I got lost there. Is this one? So we need to check something else, meaning that this is not undefined. We have a file incoming, so we're going to say let post cover equals to request that body that old cover name, okay, like that. So let's keep the name in here. I set lowercase there, and let again the update and update error. So we're going to handle this equals to await handle again post. That is the same thing we did on line 72. Post that find by ID and update. We pass the params ID, the ID of the document. We add a new object, and inside that object we specify this set that is going to add the values that we need, and that set is going to have an object inside. So now we just set all the things that are coming inside the request to be the new properties inside our document. So the body title that is going to come, the content, also request that body that content, the cover, and now since we have a new file, we are going to set this cover to the new cover. So let's say HTTP. Again, I'm hard coding this because I was too lazy to look for a real the real thing. We should be able to return our current domain. I think it's something about server, a property inside Node.js that we can return. But let's just do this. Okay, let's just hard code it, and you can add the actual function that this thing requires to get our current domain. So we reference the real URL that matches the image. So HTTP localhost 4000 uploads, and we are using backticks. Okay, forgot about that. So we add another slash there, and we add here the request that file name. That is this is going to create the file path and cover name request that file that file name. Okay, so that should be it, and this is the end of the else. Okay, so let's add a semicolon there, and let's say if update error. Okay, if we have an error, let me just copy that because that is just the same thing we have been doing. No errors. Okay, no errors. So if there's the error, the update error will respond as status 500, sorry, and the data with the error. Else we just get the file path using the post cover that we have defined. Okay, here on line 90, and just delete that and send the post. I think this one sends the updated post. I can't remember because in the past responded with the past information that you had. So I'm not sure. I can't remember if this works correctly. So let's just keep it there. You could only say data post uploaded or something like that. Okay, so let's actually check for this because this is the end of that. Let's save this and let's go to, we have update. Let me first get all the posts. Okay, API, sorry, this is not it. Not 4000, 400, because I was checking the FCM, Firebase Cloud Messaging, and I changed this, so that's why I was in a different tab. Okay, so we only have one. Well, let's edit this and let's copy this and let's take a look of, sorry, it's not that, what we are expecting update and the ID. And also, okay, I hate this. I really hate that it flashes like that. And we're using a put request. So we look for that put request with the update and the ID. Okay, so body. Okay, this should be from data 2, I think. So let's say title, a new title, content, a new content, and let's keep the file that is cover. We need to check for that. Let's leave that one empty and let's send. Let's see what happens. It's going to respond like that. And if I go to API and say get, you can see we have a new title, new content, but this won't return null. Okay, I know why. Okay, so actually we will need to because we're going to send the same information here, so this is not going to work with what we have. So what you can try to do is to send again the same file, or select the file that we have, okay, inside the uploads. So I didn't take that into account, okay, because I refreshed this and we have this file. So we can actually select that one and it's going to override what we have. So let's go back here and put update. You can see that it changed also what we had, but this is null because we're going to send again the same information. So just let me go to body and cover. We need to select actually that. So I'm going to choose file. I'm going to go to my desktop because I'm not there. And this one is the two uploads. So right now I'm here. Okay. So I'm going to select this one. Open, and that should be the one that we need. So send, and it's going to try to delete. Okay, so that's actually not working. I didn't take that into account. Okay, so it's saying that okay, no, it's saying that null. Okay, it's checking for undefined. So the one that we uploaded now is this one, I think. So let's actually get this. So this is working, but it's sending a cancel request. Okay, because we found an error. That's why it's still trying to send that. So in fact, this would be better to test once we have the form, because the form is going to receive all this information from the API and send back the same information. Okay, so that is going to work with our send, not put, sorry, get. That is going to work with what we have. So you can see we have this 4998. That in fact is this one. Okay, so it got renamed, but that won't happen. That will happen with, or no, it actually got renamed because we have the multer that is going to rename every file that passes through there. So, but don't worry, that is not going to happen with our client, because we're going to send that information, and you can see inside the update that we are going to use that same information. Okay, because we are not going to handle any other file. Okay, because file is going to be empty, but we're going to use some hidden inputs in order to pass all this information. Okay, so that's why this is not going to work with, or okay, I think I can make it work. Yes, so let's say this. Let's actually try it. This should work, but I'm not sure if we let's say let's copy this and let's paste this. No, sorry, it's update, and let's paste that. So we need to check actually the body, and this one should not have anything. And let's say alt cover and alt cover name. Let's actually grab well, I have it down here, so let's grab this and paste it, so it's like that. So this is the URL, okay, and the name that is cover, and that paste it. So I deleted the other one, right? Okay, so we have that. Let me move that to my other screen. So let me just move this so I can select cover again, choose file. Okay, it's going to open here. I'm going to move that, and I'm going to cancel. So if you cancel, it's going to say no file chosen. Okay, so that means we're going to send all this and we should be fine. No, not save, sorry, but send. And you can see we receive this, that is the same information, and we didn't upload. Well, I'm missing all my, okay, and we didn't upload anything else, so that is working. But you can see that this is how we are going to handle the request on the client, because cover is not going to have anything if the user don't want to change the image. Okay, so it's going to be empty, so we're checking for that cover to be empty, and if it's empty, then we're going to pass this all cover and all cover name together in case this thing is set, because we want this cover in order to delete the file that was before, the one we are updating in case the user selects a new one. Okay, and if not, we're just going to send the old cover to be the cover and the old cover name to be the cover name. So it's going to remain the same with the same information, and it's going to reference the same file. So that is all. And let me just move this and do one last thing. Okay, you can hear a dog there. Seems a puppy that is barking. So okay, I have this one. I moved that one because that is what I'm going to use. So you saw what we were going to change. I hate that this. I really hate what they are doing with this. It was working perfectly, and now it just flashes every time I open something that has several files, and they're making this. And I read in an article that this team was kind of complaining about how BS is indexing all the files because it's taking a lot of processing, okay, resources, and they even changed to something like Sublime Text in order to finish what they were doing because some people had only 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it was actually using all those resources in order to index because they had a ton of files, okay, and yeah, people are kind of complaining about that this used to be a pretty lightweight editor, and I know they are adding some good things and all that, but it's kind of making this to use more resources than what it used to. So yeah, let's remove all that crap and let's say let per page equals 3. Okay, so this is the number of files that we are going to request or that we are going to allow in each page, and let page equals to request that params that pipe. Sorry, I was thinking on Angular. That page, if not, it's going to be 1. So we need to change this to be a page, okay, to have a column page, because we're going to ask for a page here to make the first request, and we are going to assume that we are on the first page. That's how we're going to add pagination, and we are going to select from the numbers below the post. So if you don't know about pagination, let's say bootstrap, so you can see. Let's wait for that to open. Pagination bootstrap. Of course, I'm not going to use bootstrap. Okay, I don't like bootstrap. So if we say 1, because this is the first thing that we're going to deliver, we're going to check for that page that is going to come from the request, and if we don't get anything, then we're going to say to 1, but we're actually going to send no, sorry, we're actually going to keep this. So if the page returns like undefined, then we're going to set it to the first page and we're going to do the next. So we're going to use our model, so post that find everything that skip. We're going to per page, use per page here by multiplied by page. So why? Okay, because this should be like this. And less per page. So why this thing is so what do you want me to do? Do you want me to say it as type any? Okay. Again, TypeScript. Okay, so this is a TypeScript problem that I didn't have in my other project. Okay, so that was kind of bummer. So let's break this into separate lines. So per page and multiply by page and less per page is going to give us the page that we are okay, you will see that in the client. So we're going to limit now the per page. This is not working. Okay, so we're going to limit to the number of documents that we want to show, that is per page 3, and we need to execute actually this in order to work. So we can receive an error or we can receive our posts. So actually this is something that I think we are not going to use, because for this you will need to make some changes. Well, let's say according to the page, okay, we're going to skip some pages, and let me see if they have something like this, and use it to add something like dots or something. Okay, for example, if we have 20, it's going to say 1 2 and maybe dot 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 1920. Okay, something like that. And also we are not going to use previous and next. We're just going to handle a really basic navigation, so you can look for how to do this. Okay, and all the code is going to be ready for you just to change something in the client. Okay, so this is going to work perfectly with adding the previews and let me go there, the previous, the next, adding the dot dot dot, and maybe the last item. So it's going to work perfectly with that. So but since I did that on a rush and I didn't add the previous or the other functionalities, so you will need to do that. Now let's say post. My fucking shift is not working. Post that count. We pass a note in here, just an empty string, and we say error posts. If error, we just console that error. We don't want to see anything in the client. And else, we respond with the status of 200. So this is the actual splitting that is going to happen. JSON data, and for the data we're going to set posts. We're going to send some other thing that is the current page on which we are, that is page, and the pages, that is the total pages. We're going to say mat, that's seal. We're going to divide our total by per page, and from this we're going to know. So it's going to say the same crap, right? Cannot find name count, so I'm missing. Didn't I add count? So let me check my code. So I'm receiving. Okay, let's see this. Okay, sorry, I made a mistake here. This is count. This is the total count, okay? Because we're using count here, so we can get an error or a count. So this count is the total number of documents that we have inside our collection, and we divide that by the number of items so we can get the total of pages that we are going to have. Okay, so that should actually work. And let's save this and let's go to here. So let's say get, we come back here and say API get API, and we need to specify a page. Okay, so you can see because of course Postman doesn't know how to deal with this, so we need to actually specify a page. And because we're saying if we don't send anything, you should have the page number 1, but this is not working here. So let's say page 1 send, and you can see we have the data from this one, and the current page is 1 and the number of pages is 1 because we only have 1, and all that divided between the per page is going to give us only 1. So that's the only page we are using, or that we are going to have. So this is how you're going to handle pagination. Of course, you can change this to be 20 per page, whatever, and this will reflect on the either React or Angular application. So as I said before, we are not going to add previous or next. So if you want to check for that, you will have to do it by yourselves. Okay, so we will not have this kind of behavior. At this point, what our pagination is going to do is say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we have a 20, then it's going to display all 20 buttons. Okay, and if we have 1,000, it's going to display all the 1,000 buttons. Okay, so that's the basic pagination that we are going to have. You can use whatever you want, but this is how our server pagination is going to work. For Angular, you can use ngx paginate, but you will download everything. Is pagination? Okay, ngx pagination, but you will need to send all the posts from here to the client. So you will download all the posts and then use this module in order to paginate. Okay, so they have a demo. Demo. Okay, they don't show. Okay, simple example maybe. No, doesn't seem to be. Okay, this is the same. Okay, it's here. So you will download everything and you will get actually all this from scratch. Okay, I mean from scratch, right out of the bat. So, and this is the dot that I was explaining that is going to be handled. Well, let's wait for this sheet. Okay, it's going to be handled by this skip. Okay, so we're going to get some pages, as I remember, because I quite don't remember about this. No, sorry. So this is going to skip. Sorry, I'm fucking. This is going to skip the last three. Okay, so from the first three, we're going to skip those and continue with the other three. Okay, until we got 6, and then we're going to move to the other 3. Okay, so that is going to happen there. Sorry, I was kind of explaining that. I got confused really about that, but sorry, this is just going to tell what to skip and how to limit that, and that is going to work. But in order to manage this, okay, the previous and next and the dot, we need to manage that inside the client. Okay, so yeah, and that's it for this API. So it might require some more work in order to get the correct pagination that you would like, but we're going to handle only this basic pagination. That is going to be it. So I hope you liked it, and let me just go to my OBS. And if you have any question or anything, let me know. And of course, you will have the repo for this API. And later, we're going to build the React and Angular clients. Okay, so wait for that and see you in the next one.